feel you watching me. Pull up across the room. I think you like the view. You gonna make a move. I don't make this easy for you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Good Luck Sis, where we have conversations that feed the soul. I'm your host, Ellie.
And I'm your host, Patty J.
Welcome back. Thank you guys for tuning in on this podcast. We talk about relationship, life, and everything in between. And thank you guys for tuning in.
I know it's our first recording of the new year, 2024. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. I know that, as New Year start, everyone's just like planning their new year, setting goals, starting fresh. So I hope this year everyone sets their mind towards their goals, and that once you put your mind towards something, you can achieve it. So just set those goals and, keep working towards them. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this new year. What are you most excited about, Tati?
I'm excited. I don't know, because it doesn't really feel like I'm still catching up from COVID. Like it's 2024. Like to me, right now it should be 2023. Like when it was 2023, I'm just like, bro, why are we? I'm like a year behind. I truly am a year behind from everything. Like to me, last year was 2022. So I don't know. I feel like I'm behind, but yet my age is going forward. So that doesn't make sense because like in the pandemic, I was 24, turning 25. Now I'm 28, turning 29.
Wow, we missed like
that. Like my
those
brain
years
still doesn't.
It's blurry to me.
It's so blurry. I feel like now I'm caught up.
After 2019, I feel like every birthday has been so blurry.
Baby, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it because it makes me feel like not because I feel accomplished a lot. Like I feel like in the beginning I was a nurse. Now I'm a nurse practitioner. In the beginning, the podcast just started. Now with this. Tomorrow makes it
4 years. 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say. So tomorrow is going to be our 4th year anniversary since starting this podcast.
Wow.
And like
today's January 14th, by the way.
Yeah, and we will never forget. The birthday, because I think it was just like, it was 2020. It was 80 degrees outside in January, guys. And we threw our podcast, our launch party. It was 80 degrees in Boston.
Oh, God bless us.
80 degrees in Boston. I was wearing sandals to the store, running last minute errands.
Yeah.
And then all our friends showed up and, just celebrated us just starting the podcast. And it's just like,
we need to do that again.
And I remember telling Tati, I'm like, I think God wants us to do this, because what are the chances?
Yeah.
It's not snowing, but it's sunny on the day that you want to launch your party.
Wow.
Like, it was God on our side. 100%.
Year 5, we need that again. We're gonna need to do something big for 5 years.
Oh no, something's definitely coming up. I got something stirring up in my mind. I'm gonna share with you soon, but it's gonna be big. And I think that our listeners in Boston, I'm saying Boston because obviously that's where it originated, and I feel like that's where we have most of our listeners and most of our support. So I do think that we'll do something in Boston in the upcoming year or this year. So we'll see.
Yeah. Oh my. See, now I forgot the question because we done went down memory lane. But yeah, I'm excited for this new year, 2024. We'll see I feel like now that I feel like I'm finally like caught up post-COVID. Yeah. That maybe this year will be a lot. Not saying the other years weren't great, but like memorable. Like I won't just feel like I'm going in a blur. Like, oh, it's 2024. Maybe I feel like
this episode is about it, but I feel like since COVID, we've been living in uncertainty and just fear for the past couple of years. And that's something that I'm going to talk about a little bit more. But I feel like since COVID, just in life, we're just living with uncertainty of like what's next in life and where life is going, like where life is going to take us. For me personally, not me just diving right into the episode, but I feel like it's just, we don't know about tomorrow. It's just like, ever since COVID happened, it's just like, wow, you never know what could happen in 2024, So it's just like, I think I think since 2020, I haven't been present just while living. It was just been like, all right, what's next? What's next? And not enjoying life in the moment. So I think one of like my goals for this year is to just be present in life and enjoy the moments and just not living in fear or uncertainty of what's going to come next in life. You know, it's just like, things are out of your hand. You never know what could happen, but it's just like removing that fear. Like whenever we're in our prayer sessions together, you always see that I pray for like removing fear in my life. Like I always live in fear of just not knowing what's next. And it's just like, I want to live life just being present and enjoying life. And, you know, as I reflect back on my life, I'm just like, wow, a lot of great things happen. Like I actually achieved everything that I wanted to achieve up until like, as like I'm 29 years old now, but like my goals that I wanted to achieve at 30, you know, I achieved them early at 28 or 29. So it's just like now it's just like I reflect back and I'm like, did I live? Was I present in the moment of receiving those blessings and achievements? Because we're always so quick to be like, okay, next check, you know, graduated, next thing. Because to be honest, I think we always had our life set for us. We're supposed to graduate high school, graduate college, go to grad school, work, save, move out, you know, not even move out. Let's be realistic. Get married, move out, get married, move out. And then have kids. It's just like life is all planned for us. And then we follow this script that society or our culture set for us that now I think I reached the point where I did all those things. And it's just like, I'm at the point, and I think we talked about this in previous episodes of just like, what's next? Like the uncertainty of what next is very scary. You don't have a script of, oh, let's be real. The Haitian culture is like, okay, you're getting married, next is kids, but let's be real. Like, that's slow down. Let's just take a left turn. But like, that's not something I see coming next after marriage for me right now. So it's just like, what's next? I think the real question for me is like, what's actually next? What is next for Ellie, and not what is next based on the society book that is created for us. Yeah.
I definitely understand, because I feel like last year, 2023, every time I say last year, I have to think what year is the last year. Last year, 2023, for me, it was, okay, I literally passed my boards the day before 2023. So was sitting in that, and then, okay, got to find a job. And y'all know my job, interviewed for my job in January, started in October. So that was just a long process of me just being in limbo. Granted, I still had a job. I worked as a nurse, but still like a delay in starting that next checkbox that I've been waiting for. And now I have it. So it's kind of like, I don't have like, and it feels good. I don't have anything to check off. Like, I don't like.
Doesn't that feel amazing?
Like, and the thing is, I live with my parents. Y'all know this. I want a house, but that's not my next, like, I'm not focused on that being my next checkbox. I think before it was like, before I'm 30, baby, first of all, interest rates, prices, I live in Boston. I'm good. Like, I don't feel that pressure anymore to like, I have to leave. And I think it's like, when I was younger, like a couple of years ago, it was kind of like, okay, I can't live in this Haitian household anymore, blah, blah. But because I've been in therapy and because I've made the active, conscious decision to not only understand where my mom comes from, but also to not let certain things impact me as much, I can live here longer now.
We think therapy's good.
Shout out to Lakeisha, my therapist, because I don't, like, we get along. Granted, mom, daughter, we're always gonna have a little, oh, you're annoying, but I can genuinely see myself living here, and I know I'll never get kicked out. I know none of that until I am ready in all aspects of my life to take that next step. So before, like, ask me 2 years ago, even ask me a year ago, was it a checklist? Like, okay, boom, this is your next goal. Now it's, for me, it's like, whenever it happens, and it feels good to know that, like, not saying I'm not working towards something, because I have a savings account for it, I do, but there's no pressure to do it.
But it's also the American dream pressures. Like nowadays we see all the people we went to high school with, college with. What's next? Everyone's getting engaged. Everyone's getting married. Everyone's buying a house. So you kind of feel the pressure to do the same, but it's just like, you can't rush into things that you're not ready for. And obviously, if it's not the time, it's not the time.
It's not the time.
So you just, we worry and we focus on what everyone else is doing when there's other things that we could be doing in that time to prepare you for that. Because like, it might take you longer to get a house. Like maybe in 5 years, you'll buy a house, and then someone who already purchased their home, where it's not a race. It's just like when that time is right for you to get there, to buy that house. It's just like, you'll get there eventually.
Exactly. And granted, don't get me wrong. There are certain things that like, I'm always been that person. I'm not going to rent, I'm going to buy. And who knows, that may change. But I've seen my parents struggle so much with renting with a landlord who wasn't, landlords can be assholes. I've seen that experience. I've seen the experience of my parents buying a house together before they were ready. And I don't think I've ever shared this, but the house had to go in bankruptcy. Like, I've seen both ends of that. And I told myself, like, I'm never going to, like, I remember the house, like, my parents went to bankruptcy. Well, my dad technically, because he bought the house, but we were living together. So it affected all of us, went into bankruptcy. And, Haitians and parents, and family members, this is like the whispers and stuff. And I was just kind of like, okay, I'm never going to do that. Like, I'm never going to not be prepared. And like I said, we were renting. Landlord, horrible. Like, before we moved into this house, me and my mom were going through hell with the landlord. I'm never going to go through that either. So when it comes to me taking that step to get into my own place, I don't want to rent. I'm not the type to rent. I'm not the type to lease a car. And there's nothing wrong with that. Me, I just want to know it's mine. I don't like the idea of someone else has control over my space, something that I need, because I saw how hard it was for my parents. So that's another thing where I'm also like, I'm not going to rush to buy a house just because I'm 28 and I have this job and I have this career. And now that's the next thing, because I know where that can lead to when you're not ready. Yeah. So I feel like this year is just my first time where I can I'm not working towards a goal. Like, I'm not working towards a checkbox. I'm living my life for me. And I do have New Year resolutions and stuff like that. But my overall goal for myself is that every day I'm doing something that leads to my best self. So it's last year, 2023, when it was October, I lost 15 pounds last year. Granted, we're going to get into another episode about this, but long story short, I recently had surgery, had to not work out for a month and a half-ish. I just started getting back in the gym literally last week, and getting back in the gym at this point is just really stretching. So I haven't really been able to go hard. So I probably have gained some of that weight back, but understandably, but to lose 15 pounds for me, even though it took a year to do it, that was such a big accomplishment. But that's because every day I was doing something to work towards that, to work towards a better me. So I want to take that experience, that model, and apply it to this year. Yeah. So it's I think we put a limit on what we can accomplish just because it seems like it's really impossible. But it's just when you look back at what you already did accomplish, it's what did you do that allowed you to accomplish that goal? And how can you apply it to every other area in your life that you're trying to achieve that goal, right? So it's just for me, I think for this year, one of the major things I'm trying to work on is discipline. All my life, I've always had discipline. All my life, I had to fight. Yo. Then I have to get yourself, because procrastination is real.
Procrastination is real. I am number one when it comes to procrastination. But baby, let me tell you one thing. Me, I'm going to get it done. Okay?
She is.
I'm talking about 12 pages of paper. I'm going to start it the night before, but baby, I'm going to get it done. It's going to be
I've done that too. 10 page paper done in one day.
Yeah. I am the queen of procrastination, but with discipline though. I know that if I'm going to work on that paper, I got to eliminate everything that I have to do. Like I probably crossed them off my list the day before so I can just focus on that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, balance. So, I just, as I got older, I realized that once I was done with grad school, like I didn't have that balance of being disciplined really anymore. Mm-hmm. Or just like, I was just living life, you know, there was no structure in my life. And especially, I think working from home has impacted that a little bit more. I feel like I have no structure, like, you know, there's no routine. So like when I was working in the office, you know, I knew I woke up at 6 o'clock so I can just, you know, make my breakfast, make my lunch, head out, catch the bus, catch the train, you know, get into the office. Then I know I'm done with work. I head home. And then, you know, I got to study, do homework. Like there was a routine in my life where once I was done with grad school, I was like, you know what? Life is good. I got no worry. I don't need to focus on anything. You don't have to do anything. I don't have to. So then it was just like, all right, I'm watching Netflix for like hours. But I was like, I earned that. Like, I deserve this. When I was in grad school, I wasn't really doing anything. I didn't have time to catch up on shows and watch movies. So I was like, I told myself, 2021 was my lazy year. Like I could do whatever I want. And I did exactly that. And then it led into 2022 and then it led into 2023 because I just didn't have no routine. And here we are. And in 2023, I think I realized that and I was like, girl, you need to do better. You need to do better because I feel like I can accomplish so much with discipline. Yeah. And I didn't see how it was impacting me because of the podcast. That's when I saw that it was really impacting me because like the podcast is my baby. Like we decided to start this 4 years ago and not saying that I'm not grateful where we are now, but I think that obviously we could have been further with my lack of discipline. Baby. Like baby. I had to be real with myself. I'm like, you need to be more disciplined and you need to create the time to you need to set aside the time to work on the crafts and what you really want to work on. Literally,
was it last week or maybe right before the new year, I told myself, okay, like taking that model of, okay, you lost 15 pounds last year by incorporating something daily to work towards this. And that doesn't mean, girl, I was not working out every day. I was working out 3 to 5 times a week. But like, okay, me eating this salad is contributing to my higher self. Like little things like that. So I literally created a routine for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I'm just like, I need to literally dedicate and write down this time is for this, and this time is for this, and this time is for, I know like, I can't even remember the last poem I wrote. Like, I don't even know. And I was just like, okay, you know what? I need to dedicate an hour weekly to doing, and I have a book to doing writing prompts and jogging my creativity in that aspect again. Then I dedicate an hour weekly to the podcast. I mean, some weeks it's more, but at least an hour a week for the podcast, an hour a week for Tati's testimony. Like the last time I posted was in December. We're mid-January. Like if I don't do it that way, it's not going to get done.
Nothing's going to get done.
Because I saw results using that method last year. So it's like, it can be done. I just needed to break it down and just like stop.
And apply it, I'm 100% with you. Like, that's exactly what I'm trying to do now. And it's hard. Let's be real. It's hard. I feel like it's easier when you know you gotta do it. You got like, I gotta make sure I study for 2 hours and then 3 hours I write this paper, because if I don't, I'm losing money because, you know, this is grad school and I'm trying to graduate. But when it's your own craft that you're trying to invest in and you invest your time in, it's kind of hard. And I think
it's hard. And to be honest, like, it's not like at this point, the podcast is our like source of income. We both have jobs. Yeah. So it's like, it's a little bit easier. Like, okay, we don't do this, we don't do that. I'm still getting a paycheck regardless from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's like, versus the people who are solely podcasters, every episode depends on their income. They're not, maybe lazy ain't in their vocabulary because they got no, that's their job.
Exactly. But I'm trying to view the podcast as the priority, you know, like, and I'm trying to give as much of my time, to it. Like, if someone was to ask me, what is my goal for 2024? It's 100%. I'm trying to put 100% of my energy into the podcast. Like I told Tati the other day that per quarter, I'm trying to learn something new. I want towards the end of this year for me to fully understand all aspects of like podcasting. Mm-hmm. You know, like when we started off, like we were editing, we were doing everything and we made time for it. I was in grad school. Mm-hmm. You were about to start grad school and we were working full time. So it's just like, I know it's possible. So it's just like you said, taking ways that you already got results from and just implementing them in, you know, in the podcast to make sure that you get the same results.
One thing I also like had to do was change my perspective, because Ellie knows this. During my recovery time, a lot of BS was going on with my job that really was just like, oh my God, like I can't, not that I can't work for other people, or I can't work for companies. It's just like you really start to realize how much it's just kind of like, y'all just don't care, you know? So I just had to change my perspective. And I was just like, you know what? I only work 32 hours a week. How many hours are in a week? And like, I literally calculated. I'm just like, this portion of my life that's causing me so much stress is literally this portion of my entire week. Like I am devoting way too much energy, way too much time into something that only holds this much amount of space. So I had to change my mindset. Like, yeah, I work this many hours a week, but then I have this much more time to myself. And I think because the way we work typically Monday to Friday or Tuesday to Friday or whatever, because of it takes more days, we think we don't have time. And it's like, yes, it takes more days, but we have actually more time to devote to ourselves. So I had to change my perspective. I literally mapped out the hours and was just like, okay, based on this, truly my job is my side hustle and my main hustle is me. And what does me include? Me includes the podcast. Me includes Tati's testimonies and my poetry. Me includes me working out and just becoming my better self, getting closer to God. All these other aspects is my main priority, and my job is my side hustle. So why is more of my time and energy going to my side hustle and not my main priority? So it really is a mindset, like a mindset change and shift that you just have to be prepared to like dive into. And me, Lord knows, I hate doing things after work, which is also why it's kind of like, for me at least, it's so much easier to feel like my job is my whole entire life, because it takes more days. Because once I come home, I genuinely don't have the energy or the want to do anything else. Yeah. But then that comes into like, all right, sis, like, what do you want? You're already miserable at this job, so now you're going to let this job stop you from pouring into yourself just because you're tired. Like, we have to figure out a way to get out of this mindset. And then if you're tired, does that mean you're about to overload your weekends with things to do? Like, we have to find a balance, and it takes time to really figure it out. Like, I'm still trying to finalize like my routine from Monday through Sunday, where I'm not overloading myself on my days off, where it doesn't feel like a day off, but also I'm not doing too much when I come home from work. So it takes time. You just got to be dedicated to actually figure that out for yourself.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that perspective is really, like, that's a really good way to think about it, especially nowadays. There's just a lot going on with corporate America, layoffs. It's just like, baby, let me tell you what I went through last year. Thankfully, like, I was safe. My job did layoffs. I was safe, but there were people in my department that I saw experience the worst when it came to layoffs. And I think that's when I've never experienced that before. And I was just like, wow, the way they treated my coworkers, I was just like, you could not devote yourself 100% to a job when you know that like tomorrow they can just like create a 10-minute meeting and they're like, okay, see you later. We no longer need you, with no explanation. And they cut you off with no health insurance or nothing.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you need to focus on yourself, and you need to make sure that you're creating enough time for you to focus on what you want in life and the crafts that, you know, you want to focus on and what you want to achieve. And we cannot just allow our 9-to-5s to drain us out, where we're just so exhausted that we can't even allow ourselves to focus on the things that we love.
Yeah. Maybe it's exhausting, and it's gonna drain you a lot more. And I'm just like, also maybe that's why I'm so tired too, because I just been giving so much to something else that I don't want to give. Not saying I don't want to give into, but like putting it back into myself is so much more gratifying and rewarding in more ways than one, compared to work is just finance, which is important, but like it's not giving me anything else but that. So it's like I need to learn how to pour into myself the way I'm pouring into this job. That's only giving me one thing when I can give myself so much more than that.
Yeah, when people talk about work balance is so important, because I do believe there's 9 to 5s that you work. Like what I'm working now, my 9 to 5 is not the same as my 9 to 5 that I was working in the beginning of last year. Baby, that was death. That was like the worst of the worst. Where I'm more happy now, I feel like although the workload is like, it's still a lot, but it's just like, I feel like I have more of a balance, I don't feel the stress. I can share the stress with my other coworkers. I'm not doing the job of three people, it's just a one person job. It's still a lot, but it's just like, it's manageable, and I'm okay with that. Where when I'm done with work, I'm just like, oh, okay, that was a long day, but then I can still dive into working on other things that I want to work towards. So it's just like, it's important that when you're looking for a job that you do find that work balance, because baby, it could really, really drain you.
And it's important to like, ever since I started working after like undergrad, I was just like, I need something to look forward to, baby. Like I need a trip. And it's like, I'm trying to like not, it's like, okay, soft life, self-care. Like, okay, I'm going to treat myself to massage. I'm going to treat myself to a facial. Great. But also it's like, why does that have to be a treat? Taking care of yourself shouldn't be a treat. You should be doing it just to do it. So I'm really trying to level up what things I'm looking forward to. Like, yes, I'm looking forward to a massage, but I'm trying to have that mindset. Like, a massage is not something that I'm lucky to, like, I deserve it. Like, this should be part of my routine. Not, oh my God, I finally get to get a massage. No, that should be like routine maintenance care. Like the way my car gets an oil change every 3 months, I should be getting a massage. I mean, granted, at this point, we're going to say every 3 months. It should be more than that. But like,
I was like, wait,
automatic.
3 months?
Maybe I haven't gotten a massage in almost a year. So yeah, let's try to get every 3 months. But it's like something more big, something more, like February, going on a trip. I'm excited for that. Like I'm looking forward to
guys,
that.
we're going on my bachelorette.
I didn't know if I could say it.
You can say it. Okay.
Going on Ellie's bachelorette trip to Mexico. So like, and
it's about to be skin out, oily.
Period.
Flawless.
Okay.
Living our best life.
I'm excited. Like I'm just, and I literally counted down the days. I have only 30 something work days until that trip. Like, this is the type of person I am. I need something to keep me going where I can know this is going to be worth it. Like this horrible day is one day closer to me being in Mexico.
Yeah.
And it's like April, Ellie's wedding. That's something else. My birthday, like something else to look forward to. Like you really gotta, unfortunately, sometimes you really gotta pencil in excitement and fun, because if you don't, like this life is just gonna swallow you up, and you're gonna be like, when was the last time I cracked a smile?
Yeah,
like you gotta pencil it in. So don't forget about that. And maybe the finances are rough. I get it, but little things. A staycation where you're out your house.
24-hour staycation, or like take yourself out to a restaurant. Treat yourself.
Something.
Find the smallest little thing.
Go to an event, something. You got to find some fun in your life.
And just, if it helps, plan it out, take a calendar per month, plan it out. Okay, I'm doing this month. I'm doing this next month. It helps mainly. I think that's something I really need to focus on. I did it a lot when I was in Boston, but I think since moving to a new state, like, because I don't know a lot here, I'm still trying to adapt a little bit more. So it's just like, I haven't done that as much. So it's just like, that's something I'm looking forward to doing more this year.
Yeah. And just, make your life easier. Like, even me, like, so I need a new blow dryer, right? Because I need to get my hair done by the end of this month. This Silk Press is already 2 weeks old. I'm writing it out till a month. But I'm going to get my hair.
Good.
Girl. So I'm like, okay, I also need to get my soft wax in. I'm like, so I can either buy a new blow dryer, wash, do all this, detangle, all of this myself, or just go get my hair washed and blow dried by someone else.
Go and
for
get
probably
your hair.
the same amount of money I would pay for the blow dryer, if not less, because blow dryers, real good ones, are mad expensive. I could get my hair blow dried and washed for $40 or pay $50 to $75 for a new blow dryer.
Which one you doing?
Get my hair done.
That's right.
I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't want.
Baby, you work so hard. You better make sure. You better make sure you're enjoying that money.
Like,
and I don't know for you, but the more my hair is growing, the more it takes such a toll to blow dry my hair. Like, I can't do it.
Such a toll. Like I said, the last experience I went through with my blow dry, like, it works, but it's old. The pieces don't stick. It's like, I'm not going through that. I'm not going through that for free when I can just have someone else do it for $40.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do it. And then I think that's too, like, I don't know, like sometimes it's kind of like we work so hard with our money. We're just like, we don't want to spend it frivolously, or I can do this myself. It's great you can do it yourself, but what are you paying for that? Yeah. You're not paying in money, but you're paying in exhaustion. You're paying in frustration. You're paying with your time. Pay in money.
You're paying with your time.
I'd rather money for me, convenience. And even if it's expensive, convenience and stress-free, I'd rather do that than have to deal with it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to the hair.
100%. I agree.
It's a lot.
I agree. So for this year, what kind of year are you looking to have? I know we like kind of touch base, but what kind of year? Easy.
And not in the sense, because life isn't ever easy. Easy in the sense of like, oh, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm just, waking up and bettering myself. I'm not working towards anything. I don't have a deadline to do this. I don't have a deadline. Like, the only deadlines I have in my brain is to pay down my debt. And that's something that's it's happening passively. Like, at this point in my life and career, I'm not taking on a second job. So there's nothing extra I can do to do that. It's just getting done as days goes on. So there's nothing I'm actively pushing towards where I need to get this done by this date. And that's such a relaxing and freeing feeling. Like, all of my last year was dominated. I need to get this job. I need to get this job. I need to get this job. Baby, I'm here. Yeah. And I'm sitting pretty. I'm done. I need to live my life. I need to get into my best self. I need to reach my higher self. I need to lose some weight, but I'm not like pressed about it because it happened. It's going to continue happening. I'm just living. I'm waking up and I'm being me. That's what I'm doing this year. I'm waking up and I'm being me.
I like that. I'm
excited. Thank you.
I like that. For me, it's just like I said before, just being present. I think we're like right here. Like, you get it. Like, I think it's a sense of like, we've accomplished what we needed to do. We did it. Pat on the back. We did it. Clap, clap. And we did that. And now it's just more focusing on us pouring into like what we want to do in life. And that's it for me. Like, I just want to be present. I just want to be happy, just happy at what I'm doing. I'm not really pressed on what is next, It's just more of like, I'm taking the day day by day, just hoping that whatever I hope and I desire in my life, it aligns with what God wants for me too. It's just like, I want to be happy. Okay, God, I hope you want me to be happy too. Of course he does. But it's just like more of like, I have goals set for the podcast. I have goals set for my finances and just like, just life in general. But I'm working towards them, but I'm not going to be so pressed and focused on putting so much pressure on myself. Is just more living. Because I said, the past couple of years, it was just like, I'm trying to speak, but I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I feel like this year, because I'm turning 29, so it's going to be like this is my last full calendar year in my 20s, realistically. And I'm taking it as that. Like, I'm not waiting till 29 to be like, oh my God, it's my last year in my 20s. What do I got to do? Like, this is my last full year in my 20s. And I feel like, I'm so excited. I always say this, 2019 was the best year of my life. Nothing has topped 2019 yet.
I agree.
2019, I was a full year post breakup, a girl was healed enough to be outside. I was outside.
We were out.
I was outside.
We were outside. We were at Carabana. We were in Miami. We were.
Oh my God.
We were everywhere. We were driving the
literally
boat.
From March and April. I went to Houston. Then a week later, I went to Atlanta. Then a month later, I went to Miami. It was just.
I went to Europe. We went to
DC. We went to homecoming
for my birthday. I was in Europe with my cousin. We went to like Rome, Paris, like London. I honestly lived. I think every month I was somewhere. My parents were sick and tired.
I was on a plane 6 times in 2019. And I'm pretty sure I went to New York too. And that probably just wasn't on a plane. Like
2019, no one was stressed. Like that was like, no one was stressing me out. I was happy.
No one.
Life
and I
was
think
good.
too, because 2019 had nothing. I had no check boxes. 2019, I was working my first job as a nurse. Hated it for the first year, but by that time I got used to it. Like the only thing I was doing was working and making money and enjoying it.
Yeah.
At that point, I wasn't in grad school. I was saving for grad school, but I was still making enough where I could save and live my life. I had no check boxes. And this, like I said, this is the first time this year I had no check boxes. Like 2023, the way I sat in the house was scary and unusual. I only went on one trip, St. Martin. That's unheard of for me. Like
we sat in the hotel room on our trip and watched Lifetime. Didn't go out.
We didn't get to finish the movie. I still think about that movie to that day. I really wonder what happened to that girl. Did she go to jail?
I don't know. We could find it and probably have a movie night and watch it.
But it's like, and I'm happy. I think that means we're just grown. Like we don't necessarily have to like be outside. But something, maybe I think I'm coming back. I feel it in my body. I think it's just like
you're getting activated again. You're trying to be outside.
And I'm getting emotional. Like I'm getting activated.
You're getting activated.
I'm so happy to be activated. It's like the battery's in my back, niggas. I'm coming outside.
Not outside.
And I'm so excited. And it's just like, you know what? Maybe like as much as I said last year, I need to find my man. Because God knew this year was coming for me to be back. And when I say outside, I don't mean like I'm looking for men, or it really has nothing to do with men. It has everything just to do with me living just such a carefree, like
that was 2019 for me. Like when I made up my mind that no one was going to stress me out, I was going to focus on me, and I was going to do everything that made me happy. I was like in grad school, and I told myself grad school was not going to stop me from going out. Like, remember doing homework in the Uber, trying to head out to a party, like nothing was going to stop me. And that's the same thing. It's just like whatever you put your mind towards, like I was out and knowing that I had a paper or homework due or a quiz or a test due tomorrow. But you know, it all worked out for the best. It's just like, as long as you put your mind towards being happy, and you focus on that and you work towards that, you're gonna reach that.
Be 2019 times. I just remember Miami. We met that guy in the club. Oh, you want to come to the pool party the day after?
Oh my God.
I'm walking.
Shout out to his whole.
His name.
Shout out to his whole. We're not saying his name, but
I don't even remember his name. But shout out to you, because I was drunk and I was walking and I tripped. Next thing you know, I feel someone catch me. Homeboy got security. I'm walking around with security. I don't even know.
Yeah, I was gonna say shout out to his security guards. He was like fresh out of prison too.
Yeah, he was. He had an ankle monitor on, but he was outside. I don't know how that worked.
And you know what's so funny? Oh, I'm not gonna say that. But anyway,
I'm trying to be in safer situations.
Oh yeah,
like we were safe.
We were very safe. We were pretty smart girls.
I'm a little bit too mature to be those type of situations again. But something related to that, in a sense, just carefree and outside and taking opportunities as they come.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to be.
So what kind of season are you in your life right now? Like, what kind of season do you think that from, like, you know, we just started the year. Do you think that you're in the same season of your life from 2023, or are you in a new season of your life?
I think this is a continuation of my seasons for 2023. I think 2023, because 2022, the end of 2022 was such a depressive time in my life. I started 2023 a little bit still in that, but then it's like, okay, like I decided, like, I think my major accomplishment for me so far has just been really loving myself enough to make a change. And 2023, I was just so fed up with how I looked and so fed up with just everything coming out of 2022. I was like, I need to be happy in some aspect. What I can control, I'm going to control. And what I can control, I controlled my body. And I think I'm entering in 2024 with that, especially the end of 2023. Like I said, this is going to be an episode. Some of you I probably already know if you've been visualized, if you see me, but like I made such a big decision when it came to my body. Yeah, I didn't get no BBL, okay?
I'm proud of you.
I made such a big decision when it came to my body that I always wanted to do. And I finally got the balls to do it. And I think because of the weight loss and then because of this decision, like I'm just so ready to fully take control of myself. So I feel like 2023, okay, we did that. We ended the year off with a bang. Now that that's done, we're going to really get into it in 2024. So like, I just can't wait to see my body transform physically. Can't wait for me to transform mentally, emotionally, and just like, really be in love with myself and be in love with the discipline I have for myself. Because I really do think true self-love comes from discipline. And I could be disciplined in any other aspect of my life except truly myself. And I've proven to myself I can finally do that. So I'm just like, how far can I take that?
Oh, I'm so proud. Your decision of what you did last year, that's like... Even when Tati told me she was about to do it, I'm like, there's no way. Way. I honestly didn't believe you were going to do it until, you're going to tell the story, but like, it took a while for it to happen. Not because of her, but just like life. God was like, it's not the right time. And then when Tati told me, like, she gave me information of what was going to happen, I was like, oh, wow, it's really happening. And I was like, wow, like, that's just amazing. Just like, that's so like, just...
Girl, I still can't believe it. I just like, oh my God, I did it.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. That's just like, that's balls right there. That's major balls. That's amazing. For me, for this year, the season that I'm in is... Like, I know I keep saying this, but it's not saying I wasn't happy before. It's been the past years have just been the most happiest years of my life. And it's just like, I want to be present in those years. I don't know how to really explain of how I wasn't present, but I think there was so much going on top of being happy and amazing things happen. I think everyone just sees like, okay, well, she got engaged, she has a house. Like everyone thinks it was so smooth, but like obviously Tati knows everything behind it all. And just a lot happened. And it's just like keeping other people happy and, handling the stress of other people and just handling everything around you is just like, it's a lot, and then I always was focused on, the uncertainty of what was going to happen if like, I disappoint my parents or I disappoint, things don't go as planned. Like when I moved out here, it's just like, okay, now I'm moving out here. The only people I know is my fiance and his family. Okay. God forbid anything happen. What's next? Okay. Bet I'm always my mind is always 10 years ahead. That's crazy, right? Like, so if I was to tell someone I would be here right now and they'll be like, how did you know? I'll be like, I knew I was going to be here. Like, this is no surprise to me. Like my life is, I've always planned it out to be like, okay, this and this and next, this is next and this is next. Right. So it's just like, I never got to like literally live, in the present of, of all, like God is amazing. God has amazing things. Like the decisions that I made to move out here on my own, that's amazing. And God has walked me through the process and just like the amazing to just like make certain decisions in my life. I've done all in fear, but in faith though, all in fear. Like, you're shaking just doing all these things, but it's just like, I no longer want to make decisions just in fear. I just want to just like, okay, bet like,
you know what it is? I think for both of us, but especially for you, I think it's just like, you're finally to a point in your life where you can't make a mistake.
I can't. Exactly.
Like before, it's like, if you do this, it can be a mistake to this and this and this. You are literally about to get married in like 3-ish months. There's no mistake at this point in your life you can make.
I can't.
So like, you have no choice but to live carefree.
To live carefree. And that's exactly what my therapist had said too, because it's like, either way, you disappoint this person, you disappoint your parents for what you did, they're going to get over it. And life is going to go on. Like, you worry about it so much.
Yeah.
You worry about the uncertainty of what's next, you know, if you make this decision. But either way, it's just like, are you happy at the end of the day? And if the answer is yes, then if you're not doing anything wrong, you're not doing anything wrong. Like, there's
literally no mistake in this point in your life you can make.
There's no,
like, you've done, like, you've gotten to, like, you're not in high school, so there's no teenage pregnancy. You graduated.
Still at 20, there's no teenage pregnancy.
Baby, at this point, if I get pregnant right now, it's a teenage pregnancy. But like, you're an adult. Like, there's no mistake you can make in your life. Me, God forbid, right now, the only mistake I can really make is getting pregnant. And I saw.
But your mama
would be happy.
Your mom's cool. But it's like,
that would be a mistake for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, are you ready to handle that? Are you financial? Like, that's what I mean.
Like, there's none of that there. Granted, she would be over the moon. She already told me, find a man, I'll be your baby daddy. My mom is in her 60s. Baby daddy, I need you to live a lot more longer if you really about to be my baby daddy.
No, your mom would raise that child. Okay?
Like, literally, she'd be so happy. But it's like,
yeah, it's like I've reached that point in my life where it's just like,
up your life from
I can't disappoint anybody besides myself at this point.
Yeah.
And one of the things I always, like, one of my biggest fear is not doing something that I wanted to do. And then years later being like, wow, like, if I had done it, look where I would be now. That's one of my biggest fear. And at 29, I can look back and be like, one of the biggest thing I regret is, this sounds so bad. And if you're Haitian child, like, don't listen to me. Okay. But one of my biggest thing is not saying like I followed my parents, like the rules, everything they laid out for me, not saying I would to break the rules, but I wish I just did what I wanted to do. I lived a little bit more. Yeah. You know, like,
I feel the same for me too.
I wish I had, not saying like I was out here, like, I'm not doing illegal stuff, but I just mean like, ask why can't I do that? You know, like,
why couldn't I go to that party?
Why couldn't I do that? Or why did I have to come home every Friday and I couldn't stay on? Like, it's just one of those things. I used to tell Ellie, I'm like, Ellie, you can't just. Still today, man, I'm driving home Friday nights, making sure I go to church on Saturday. I'm tired, but because my parents wanted me to do it, I was doing it. It's just like things like that. Like, it wasn't until like 3 years or 4 years ago, I'm more fighting back of like, I'm gonna do this regardless. And they're looking at me like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah. And then they're over it. So it's just like, I'm not saying go out here and do illegal things, but like, you just do what makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, you're just gonna have to live with yourself and look back on the things that you did and the things you didn't do. So it's just like, at the end of the day, now at 29, I don't have any regrets. I'm happy at where I am now. And I thank God I made all those changes, even though it caused like uncertainty and fear. And I hope that I can continue to do that in life, even if, there's fear, but I want to like move forward in life and doing all the things I want to do. Like, sometimes I have some great ideas and I'm like so scared. Like, we like self-sabotage ourselves so much. And it's just like, I don't want to do that. I want to like, hey, if I do something, it doesn't work out, I fail, bet. Like, I don't want fear to stop me. I don't want uncertainty to stop me. It's just like, I want to like, I'm in the season of just like, hey, great idea comes, I'm gonna move forward with it. Not worried about what other people will think. That's another thing. And, I'm still trying to work with. So it's just like, yeah, that's where I am in life. I'm just working towards, what makes me happy and just being present and where I am in life.
Proud of you.
Thank you. Oh, we come a long way. When I think of like, when I think about I literally remember this, our third episode. If you guys listen to it, you'll hear me talk about this so much. Like, Tati and I gave each other goals of like what we wanted each other to achieve. And it's just like to look back on where we are now.
God.
Like,
I have to listen to old episodes just to like really.
Guys, this is growth. Growth. The fact that I'm about to be married, that's growth.
The fact that even though it wasn't for the right person, I broke my celibacy.
Growth.
And I'm okay, like, you know, and I'm not devastated.
Yeah.
Well, he listens to the podcast, by the way. He told me that.
Oh wow.
The last couple of episodes, but he didn't listen to the episode about him.
Okay, he'll make his way
if he wants to.
Yeah, well, we could just share it in the DM. You know, check this episode out. Subscribe, share, and like. You know.
But yeah, a lot of growth.
A lot of growth. I'm so proud. You know, it allows me to reflect back on where we are, and like, hey, at the end of 2024, we're gonna look back and be like, wow, look at us.
I know, look at us.
Who would have thought? Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to our episode. Hope you guys have a happy new year, and hope you guys can continue to tune into our episodes. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And if you guys want to talk to us, don't hesitate. Make sure you guys just send us a DM, or if you guys know us personally, feel free to text us. But we'll catch you guys on our next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye.